India's drug controller this week gave the much awaited approval to Sputnik V vaccine. Russia's Sputnik V, which is developed by the Gamaleya Institute and the clinical trials of which was done by Dr. Reddy's, has finally received the approval, and it becomes the third vaccine to be approved for the use of COVID-19 in India. We'll tell you about how this vaccine works, how many doses India will receive, and what are the things that you need to watch out for this vaccine. The Russian Development Investment Fund, which is a sovereign fund of Russia, is backing this vaccine in India along with several other manufacturers. RDIF has tied up with 5 Indian manufacturers to manufacture this vaccine at scale for the Indian population. RDIF says that by end of this year, there will be at least 850 million doses of Sputnik V vaccine that will be available for the Indian market. However, since the vaccine has just been launched and received an approval, the initial responsibility of delivering the vaccine will be with Dr. Reddy's, who are expected to deliver 250 million doses during the contract period. Now, let's talk about the efficacy of the vaccine. RDIF says, and it has published its findings in several medical journals, that its vaccine is 95% efficacious. Now, let's be very clear about what efficacy means. Efficacy is different than effectiveness. Efficacy of a vaccine basically determines how the vaccine performed in a clinical trial. It's a statistical term, and it's different than effectiveness, which is or how did the vaccine actually perform in a real world setting. However, what we know right now is that the RDIF statements says that the vaccine is over 95% efficacious, which is one of the largest efficacy that any current vaccine for COVID-19 has. RDIF had a press conference where its CEO told the press that by end of summer, the company expects that 50 million doses will be made available to the Indian population. When we say end of summer, we're talking about something around end of May, where the initial doses that will come to India will be around 50 million doses. So Sputnik V is a 2-dose vaccine which needs to be given 21 days apart. What is different about this vaccine compared to other platforms such as J&J or AstraZeneca is that even though Sputnik V uses the adenovirus platform, which is one of the most commonly used platform right now, it uses 2 different types of adenovirus 5 and adenovirus 26. And these 2 AD doses have to be given separately. They cannot be mixed up. So this is one thing which is very unique about Sputnik V vaccine, that it uses 2 different AD viruses. And there are also studies that's going on along with AstraZeneca to combine the Sputnik V and AstraZeneca vaccine and see how effective these vaccines are. So the platform which Sputnik V uses is similar to the platform that's used by companies such as Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca, and Serum Institute of India. They use something called the adenovirus vector platform. This is one of the most commonly used vaccine platform in general. It's different than an mRNA vaccine or a DNA vaccine. However, what makes Sputnik V different is, as we explained, is that it uses 2 different AD virus, AD5 and AD26, which makes it different than other adenovirus vaccines such as J&J's or AstraZeneca. So right now, the safety profile of the vaccine is according to the details that we have from the trials, and in the clinical trial, the verdict has been that the vaccine is safe and efficacious. However, what we're seeing with the adenovirus vaccine platforms such as AstraZeneca and J&J is that there are events of rare blood clots that is emerging. These are rare blood clot events, and it's not something it impacts, for example, 6 people in a million. However, this is something that needs to be watched out on how the vaccine, when it is introduced in a real world setting, will work in terms of the safety profile. So this is something that needs to be watched out for with Sputnik V also, because it's the same platform as the other two, and we need to see if this vaccine also is faced with this rare blood clot events. However, one thing we need to be very clear about is that most regulators across the world, let's for example the WHO, European Union, have made the call that the benefits of the adenovirus vaccines outweighs the risk, and that's why companies should or countries should continue delivering these vaccines and administering these vaccines. The job of most vaccines is to prevent hospitalization, severe disease, and deaths. And right now, all the vaccines that we have seen, which is underused across the world, do this job. They have prevented deaths. They have prevented severe illness. So Sputnik V is approved in over 60 countries, but India by far will be the biggest country for RDIF to administer this vaccine. But countries such as Argentina, Tunisia have approved this vaccine. There are talks that Germany also might look at approving this vaccine. However, these are early days, and it all depends upon how the European Medical Agency decides whether to give the vaccine, whether to approve the vaccine or not. Sputnik V is commonly used in most African countries right now. After AstraZeneca vaccine, it's the Sputnik V that is most widely used. So vaccine storage in the dry form can be done in 2 to 8 degrees, but otherwise the vaccine requires a storage of minus 18 degrees. Dr. Reddy's has been working with the regulators to simplify this storage process, and mostly it will be possible that the vaccine can be eventually stored in 2 to 8 degrees of temperature. Even though publicly RDIF has stated that the vaccine costs less than $10. Now, we don't know what less than $10 is. Is it $1? Is it $5? But of course, it's a range that the organization is talking about. But what we understand is that there are negotiations going on with the Indian government to bring down the price of vaccine. So even if on an average the vaccine costs 150 rupees, just like what a Serum Institute of India or Bharat Biotech cost, we're looking at the 150 rupees per dose. But again, these are early days and the negotiations are going on. But what can bring down the price of the vaccine in India is that there are 5 manufacturers who will be making this vaccine for India. 2 more might be coming up. So we'll see a total of 7 manufacturers of this vaccine in India, which is one of the highest for RDIF. But RDIF is also using India as a base to supply the vaccines to the rest of the world. So by the virtue of the fact that we have so many manufacturers, the price of the vaccine can come down. India has one more vaccine in its arsenal to tackle the growing number of COVID-19 infections and deaths in the country. This will definitely increase the supply that is much needed at this critical juncture. We will have 50 million doses of the vaccine by end of summer, which would ease the pressure on companies such as Bharat Biotech and Serum Institute, who've been taking the load of the country's vaccination. So those are something which is to cheer about. The cons are that it's the platform is still a different platform. This is for the first time we will see a combination of AD5 and AD26 being administered, and that is something which might be a challenge, where there needs to be intense training for all the vaccinators to ensure that they don't mix up the doses somehow. And this is going to be one of the things to watch out for on how the vaccine is administered. And finally, how does the vaccine fare in real world setting in the backdrop of issues of these rare blood clot events that has been emerging?